I got into Uber out of necessity, not passion. I was working for USPS at the time, the post office. Unlike a lot of people, I just needed some extra money to make things work. Bills were stacking up, and I was trying to stay on top of everything. But the paycheck, it just wasn't stretching far enough. So I decided to do Uber and Lyft, right? And honestly, I didn't know if it would be worth it. But I figured, hey, let me just give it a try. The first time I did it, I rented a car for $35. I remember it was a Sunday. I still remember being a little nervous, not knowing how the day would go. But by the end of it, I had $130. That moment changed everything. I remember thinking, hey, wait a minute. I can actually do this. From there, I kept it small at first, just Sundays. Then Saturdays and Sundays. And it was becoming manageable, and the extra money really helped. At one point, I realized my weekend earnings alone were enough to cover my mortgage. That's when it stopped feeling like just a side hustle and started feeling like an opportunity.
You see, that's the thing about gig apps. A lot of people who are not in the gig app space love to knock people who do gig apps full time, like me, for example. When I was quitting FedEx to, start doing gig apps full time, all of my coworkers was like, "Oh, you need to stay. You're gonna lose all your benefits and whatnot." And I just told them straight up, like, "Yo, I don't give a damn about these benefits. I don't care about these benefits if the paycheck isn't even enough to cover my bills." Because I already told you guys before, but for those of y'all who are new, I used to work at FedEx Express. They cut my hours, and after that, I just went into doing gig apps full time. Bought the cargo van, and it's going on 3 years since I quit FedEx, and I have not looked back. I think 3 years would be at the end of January, so almost 3 years. And I have made more money doing gig work than I have made working at FedEx Express. I think the most I made was like $60,000 at FedEx Express. I made that more than that last year. And it's always the people that love to knock it and say things like, "Oh, you're gonna put the wear and tear on your car. You're gonna lose your insurance. You gotta pay taxes." And I always think to myself, if you drive to work, even if you have a vehicle, you have to pay for wear and tear eventually on your car. So wear and tear really doesn't matter because you got to pay for that regardless, unless you don't want your vehicle to function properly. Insurance, you can always buy your own damn insurance. I do. A lot of gig apps offer you insurance. You can go on Stride if you need to get some insurance. Taxes. This is what a lot of people get twisted about taxes. I made more doing gig work and paid less taxes. That's the beauty of it. And that's why I will never ever go back to a 9 to 5. I have made more money doing gig work and I paid way less taxes. Because the thing about it is, you're doing gig work, you're technically legally you are a independent contractor. So you get your money up front. You get your money up front and get to spend it, and then the government taxes the rest, as long as it's for business expenses. When it comes to you working for your 9 to 5, the government takes the cut, you like it or not, and then you get the rest. That's the thing about gig work. You want an independent contractor. I don't have no one telling me what to do, no one telling me how long I could work, because that whole cutting my hours crap really messed me up. They forced me. They said, "Yo, do not go past 6 hours unless I'm running you up." I'm like, "All right, cool." I quit after that. I need to get my hustle on. I need to get my hustle on. I don't like sitting in one place doing nothing. I don't like people telling me or limiting how long I can work or how much money I can make. I don't like that at all, which is why I do not like working for a 9 to 5. I know some of y'all may think, "Oh, it's more secure, it's safer." That ain't the truth. That's a goddamn lie. That is a goddamn lie. We just seen a whole bunch of people getting laid off from their jobs. Government was just shut down for over a month, and people out here scrambling. And y'all talking about the job security? Ain't no such thing as job security. There is no such thing as job security. But these jobs love to make y'all feel like your job is secure. But one day you can have a job, the next day they can say, okay, we don't need you. We are making cuts to our company and you are no longer working here with us. And then you're screwed. And then you're absolutely screwed. It's all a lie. All of us were sold a lie. Lately I have been studying Charles Munger, since I actually have the time. And quitting my job has been the best thing for me because had I not quit, I would have never thought to look into this person and actually like learn what to do with money and how to lower my expenses. Because when you lose your job, your expenses are still there, right? You go out and get that fancy car. Next thing you know, job's gone and you still got the car. Now you gotta hide your car. You gotta find a job. If you can't find a job, some of y'all go out and hide your car from a repo man, and then y'all get mad at the repo man for taking this car that you couldn't afford. It's a vicious cycle. It is a vicious cycle. And this whole 9 to 5 thing, it's not for me. It's not for me, especially now that we are at the end of 2025, going into 2026. I'm pretty sure that there are going to be a lot more layoffs, a lot more people losing their jobs to artificial intelligence, AI, or companies just, you know, making their company more efficient. Your job's not guaranteed. Your job is not guaranteed. Even though the gig work is not guaranteed, I tell you straight up, I've made a lot more money on gig apps. Sometimes I'll be making my whole FedEx check in 1, 2 days. Y'all seen me make 6, 7, 8, $9,000 a day. I've never done that. Never done that when I was at my job. Never. Let's continue.
At the same time, things that my job weren't going great. I was applying for positions I really wanted, within the company, roles that lined up with the work I was already doing and with my education. I have a master's in business administration.
Damn. Despite that sounding like a very prestigious thing to go to college for, master's in business administration is kind of useless, honestly.
But they kept passing me up, and it was discouraging, and I felt stuck. So I made a choice. I would leave the post office and give myself a little breathing room. My plan was to drive full-time with Uber temporarily, while I applied for other jobs in the business world. But then something funny happened. I started making $1,500 a week consistently. I was covering all my bills, supporting my parents, and doing it all on my own schedule. I didn't have to ask anyone for time off. I wasn't waiting on someone else to decide if I was good enough for promotion.
Yep.
And before I knew it, a few months turned into a year, and a year turned into 5. Uber went from being a fallback plan to being something that gave me freedom and control over my life.
That's right. Same for me. Been out here almost 3 years. Doing it myself. No balls. No one telling me what to do. No one telling me when I can take vacation. No one write me up for nothing. It has just been fantastic. It has been fantastic. And what I really want to do with this YouTube channel is, even though I do talk about, making money on gig apps, we also need to have a conversation about what to do with this money. Because there are way too many people who have jobs making a whole bunch of money and are completely flat and broke out here. Way too many. I mean, it is outrageous how broke people are. So I think we really need to start having this conversation about what to do with money. With all the expenses we have, it's like we sign ourselves up for failure. Like, people love struggle. I absolutely don't understand it. Don't understand it. No, all the bills, the car notes, the full coverage insurance, I'm just not with that. I'm not. It's too much. It's too much headache. The best thing you could do for yourself is get rid of the debt and invest your money. 2026 is right around the corner. So I would really like to know in the comment section below, what are your guys' plan for 2026? Me personally, um, well, I almost tried it this year, but it didn't go well. I wanted to start doing a rental car business, but things fell through because of the insurance thing. But I joined a Facebook group for Turo, and people up there have been doing Turo with their cars on their own regular insurance. So I think I'm just going to start doing that next year. You know, I'm not going to be doing gig apps forever. I'm not going to be doing these gig apps forever. What I'm going to do is transition into something that does not require me to be there to actually make money. All I have to do was what, get the car ready for the client. They drive off with it or whatever, and then whenever it comes back, check it in and repeat the cycle. It doesn't require that much of my time, but me doing gig apps requires all of my time, all of it. If I don't go out and make money, I just don't make money. Same thing for working. If you don't go out and go to work, you don't make money after your all your sick days are up. And that's what a lot of people don't do. A lot of people never think about that. They work 10, 20, 30, 40 years at the same job, thinking that everything is all hunky dory, it's all cool. They never think to save anything. And yet when it's time to retire, they're flat broke. It's the craziest thing. You make $1, $2 million and it just slips through your fingers just like that. Never think to save a dime. And with this gig channel, I really, really want to change that with you guys. Because I'm just tired of seeing people out here struggling, broke, due to their own stupidity, due to them not being able to say no to themselves, due to being impatient. I really, really want to start talking about this on this channel because it's bad out here. It is bad out here. The self-inflicted wounds are outrageous, completely outrageous. Because I'm over here, I'm chilling. I ain't got much bills at all. I got like what? Don't have a car note. Both of my vehicles are paid off. I just paid my insurance with my YouTube check, and I just got on my own family plan, my own phone plan, because I was actually on a family plan for like 15 years, and my dad was like, "It's getting too much for me. You got to get your own." I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. You're probably right." So I went on, got Mint Mobile, $15 a month, and the service is exactly the same because I was on T-Mobile. So not a plug for Mint Mobile, but I'm just saying, if just to help you guys cut your expenses, maybe switch your phone plan. I'll leave a link in the description below where you can get started with Mint Mobile. Just trying to help you guys out as much as I can because I know it's getting hard out here. But the most important thing you can do in this economy is cut down your expenses. Stop looking at the new, shiny new thing. It's going to be there, it's going to be there down the line. You can always get it, go back and get it later. You're not missing out on nothing. Stop looking at how other people live because most people are living a lifestyle that they cannot afford without credit. If credit did not exist, a lot of people would not be having the stuff that they got. Because I live in Elizabeth. I'm pretty sure the average income around here is like $50,000, $60,000. Why is it that I'm seeing people driving a brand new Toyota Camry? That's like what, a $30,000, $40,000 car? And then they wonder why they're broke. Financing a depreciating asset. It's crazy out here. So that's why I want to start teaching about this financial stuff because it's very important. It's one of the things that humans just don't really pay attention to, but it's one of the most important things you need to learn as an adult, honestly.
So if you're on the fence right now, I get it. It's scary taking the first step. And not necessarily Uber or Lyft, but sometimes the thing you're unsure about ends up being the door that leads to real independence. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to be willing to start at anything, any job, any business, Uber, Lyft, whatever. That's it.
And that's the truth. Because sometimes it does take you get laid off from your job to realize, how easy it is to make money out here. Sometimes it just takes getting fired to realize, yo, I can do this, I can do this. Now I have all this time to think for myself. Being at a job takes up a lot of your energy, a lot of your mind power, and a lot of your time. It really does. And what I'm trying to get back is my time. I quit FedEx. I got back a lot of my time because now I work when I want to. Basically do what I want to. And I love it. And I really want that for you guys too. So let me know what are your plans for next year? What do you plan on changing next year? I'm trying to grow into something where I can put a little bit of time into and yet still make money off of something. What are your plans for next year? You know, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.